Yes. So let's start. So now I'm going to present achievement and contribution of Professor Rajiv Vasne, and it's indeed an honor for me. And because I have been working in close association with Dr. Rajiv Vasne as a PhD student, I worked at ICRISAT, and then I worked on pigeonpea here at IIPR in as his collaborator. And he is a great stalwart in agriculture, international agriculture, and he did commendable jobs during this 16 years in the pigeon legume genomics, especially chickpea and pigeon pea. So it is practically impossible to summarize all his achievement as he is as an institution in itself. He himself is an institution. So, but still we will try our best to compile his achievements. So now starting with. So here starts his journey from 2005 when he joined as senior scientist at ICRISAT after leaving IPK Gatorsleben, and then we can see his journey of these last 16 years. And as he grew younger and younger with each passing year, and we can see the step taken in last year, where he seems much younger than he joined ICRISAT in 2005. So he is actually becoming an inspiration both in terms of science as well as health fitness for the young, especially for the youngsters. So now coming to the pigeon pea genomics, so it was actually a marvelous thing to explain, because there was a clear-cut transformation of genomics in pigeon pea when he joined in 2005, and later what the advances he facilitated in this pigeon pea genomics. So if you compare the duration before 2005, so there were extreme dearth of genomic resources in pigeon pea. Like there were only 10 SSR markers were available, and forget about the genetic map, because there was no genetic map available, and other like genome transcriptome and these high density genotyping assay, these all things were not available at the time. So this is the slide which shows the key breakthroughs made by him in pigeon pea genomics. So it starts with 2012, the major breakthrough which was achieved in the form of whole genome sequence of ASA variety, popular variety ASA, and it published in somewhere in November 2011 and 2012. Then came whole genome sequencing of mitochondria of CMS line and maintainer lines, and this led to identification of some candidate genes which are being used in hybrid breeding program to accelerate the breeding efficiency of hybrid pigeon pea development. Then in 2016, they developed the first generation HAP map of pigeon pea using 20 accessions, and it actually revealed a massive amount of genetic variation for breeding applications. Then in 2017, they conducted whole genome sequencing of 292 pigeon pea accessions, and this was a massive study which provided the breeding targets for future pigeon pea improvement, genetic improvement programs. So in parallel, he conducted several studies, he and his team, where they found molecular markers. For now, we can say that we are having molecular markers for almost for every traits, that covering yield, quality, and stress response. So in addition, there are now diagnostic tools are available to boost the hybrid breeding, such as we are having markers which can be efficiently used for grow out test and restorative development in hybrid pigeon pea. So now we can say a clear-cut scenario, a clear-cut difference in the scenario before the 2005 when he joined, and after joining ICRISAT, that now we are having not only having the tremendous genomic resources in pigeon pea, but molecular markers for each and every traits for breeding applications in pigeon pea. So now this is the slide that shows how these high density genotyping assays were used to identify the molecular markers for improving traits of pigeon pea. So here we can see that genotype such as genotyping by sequencing, then whole genome based sequencing, Indel-seq, then 50K SNP array, and then we had the gene expression atlas published in 2017. So all these studies provide a gamut of closely associated DNA markers which can be used or will be used in future to accelerate the breeding efficiency of hybrid pigeon pea as well as the varietal pigeon pea improvement programs. So he was the pigeon pea genome sequence was the major contribution. Was this we can say that the major breakthrough in pigeon pea genomics. In addition, he he decoded the genome sequence of another 11 crops, including other legumes and cereal crops like chickpea, pearl millet, soybean, sesame, azuki bean, pea, and then soybean. And all the genome sequence were published in high impact journals, including Nature Biotechnology, Nature Genetics, then and Plant Biotechnology Journal, PNAS, Nature Communication, Genome Biology. So all these were published in very high impact nature and are getting widespread citation all over the world. So Dr. Vasne was instrumental in using the latest genotyping technology in a crop which was hitherto considered as orphan crop. So he started developing large scale SSR markers, then shifted to diversity array technology, then SNP, golden gate assays, Casper, and then he realized that some more high density genotyping assays should be used to tackle the problem of narrow genetic diversity in pigeon pea. That is actually evident in the cultivated gene pool. So he and his team started developing genotyping based sequencing assays, whole genome resequencing, 50K SNP arrays, and all these high density genotyping assays facilitated development of associated molecular markers for trait improvement in pigeon pea. Not only high density genotyping assay, but they customized all these molecular markers into affordable assays which are more breeder friendly, like SNP panels that is having only 10 to 12 SNPs, which can be used in breeding programs for the identification of superior lines, or the recently developed 2K SNP array. And this kind of customized assays are very useful for new breeding technologies like genomic selection. So these we are now having different kind of platforms, genotyping platforms based on their varying density levels, suited to diverse purposes in genetic research as well as in breeding. So now this slide demonstrates the utility of how this high density genotyping assays can help and research in future. Like this high density genotyping array was used to analyze 63 released varieties and 40 founder lines, and this study concluded that the three founders, it means narrow genetic diversity was already there, but this was evident from this large scale study, and the study found that three genotypes, or three, we can say that founders, the type 1, type 190 and Bhar, the blood of these genotypes were almost in 30% of the current varieties. So this type of studies calls for the development of or broadening the genetic base of cultivated pigeon pea using land races or the wild species, which are the reservoir of the beneficial alleles to tap the untapped genetic diversity in pigeon pea. This can accelerate the we can say that the stagnated productivity, overcome the barriers of stagnated productivity in pigeon pea. So likewise, hybrid pigeon pea is well established in using the two cytoplasm A2 and A4. So he and his team provided markers that are tightly linked with fertility restoration locus, and these markers are having some of these markers are having very high phenotypic variation. It means they explain around 50% of the phenotypic variations, and this shows that these are the breeder friendly markers. It means they can readily be converted any potential line to the restorer lines for hybrid breeding, or it can be used to screen the large scale evaluation for identification of the restorer lines. So they already provided tools which can they are providing, or they have provided tools which are not only boosting the varietal improvement program but also the hybrid breeding pigeon pea. Then here we can see the markers which can not only identified but validated on a set of representative panel. Like they identified a marker that was associated with the well-studied locus, and this marker was identified from the mitochondrial gene, and we can see that a clear-cut difference between the CMS line and the cognate mental lines from this. Likewise, here we can see the another marker which was validated in a set of CMS line and restorer lines. This is actually related to the fertility restoration. And more recently, IPR was also a part of this study. In this study, in collaboration with IPR, ICRISAT designed a diagnostic or developed a diagnostic marker kit, which are having SNPs, 10 to 12 SNP, which can be used to identify the resistance for two diseases, that is pigeonpea and stealthy mosaic disease. Such diagnostic marker kits are very important because these are the two resistance to which is sought in almost every variety that is released in India. So these kind of customized diagnostic molecular tools can help to expedite the progress of varietal development in pigeon pea and also accelerate the progress of the varietal identification also. So here we can see that how these large scale studies can later converted into the form of diagnostic molecular tools, like to make them affordable or make them more breeder friendly. Like 13 SNPs are now available to screen the resistance for fusarium wilt resistance. Similarly, 12 SNPs are there to screen resistance for SMD and other traits like early flowering, 100 seed weight, and fertility restoration. Now, finite number of SNPs are available, which can be clearly distinguished between the superior lines in terms of these traits. Likewise, there are tools which can, like 43 SNPs, which can be used for grow out test to boost the this seed production in hybrid breeding program. Likewise, so not only in pigeon pea, but they have extended this approach, customized SNP assays or cost-efficient assay to other crops like pearl millet, maize, groundnut, and then rice, and all these now are enjoying the fruits of what what efforts Dr. Vasne and his team have done in the last 16 years at ICRISAT. So up to this, there was a training phase or development phase where the markers are developed, and now this is the breeding phase. Now I am going to talk about the breeding phase or training phase or this development phase, where these markers are integrated into different susceptible cultivars, or we can say the susceptible genotypes, to make them or improve them. So this was an ambitious project which was started with ICRISAT in collaboration with 9 or 10 NARS partners funded by DSE, and the major aim of this project was to deliver genetic gains directly at the farmer fields. It means to deliver the varieties which can translate these genomic developments into farmer fields. So in this mega varieties in respective zones or respective states were chosen, like BDN 77 for Maharashtra and TJT 501 for Madhya Pradesh. Like IPR worked with Bahar, which is a prevalent variety in northeastern plain zone in Uttar Pradesh, and similarly PRG 176 for Telangana. And likewise, there were different mega varieties which are having some defect, like some is susceptible to fusarium wilt, otherwise to stealthy mosaic disease resistance, and some were susceptible to both diseases. So using this genomics assisted approaches, the efforts were made to improve these mega varieties so that these become more popular, or we can say that high yielding as compared to their susceptible versions. And these efforts led to the development of various molecular breeding products which are now being cultivated in the farmers' fields. We can see like hybrids, ICPS 2762, ICPS 2740, which were identified and released for cultivation at state level. Then there is a variety which was released for central zone from AICRP, that is GRG 152, and then one variety from Tandu TDRG 59, which was released for south zone. So all these products came from the funded scheme. Not only here, and IPR also, we identified several advanced lines in this project and tested those lines at multiple locations, because 9 to 10 locations were there for multi-location testing, and we identified like IPA 15-6, which is released this year. So that superior genotype also came from the DSE funded scheme. Likewise, there are other IPA 15-8, 15-5, which are being tested at different stages of this evaluation at AICRP. So I mean to say that not only this Dr. Rajiv Vasne not only emphasized on the development of molecular markers or genomic tools, but placed equal emphasis on their implementation to improve the progress of our current breeding programs. And this is reflected in the release and identification of varieties recently. So these are some images we can see of this project, and he was a frequent visitor of IIPR. We hosted several meetings with him at IIPR, and here we can see Dr. Muniswamy. So he also emphasized on developing human resources, because this is an important component as far as our developing strategy is concerned for other African countries. So he and his team conducted a total of 15 training courses on this genomic tools, and to make acquainted trainers with participants with new genomic tools and technologies. and in these training courses 485 scientists were trained. And he also conducted large-scale conferences which were mega success. Like one of the conferences which were organized in 2017, that is Interdot. There were more than 900 delegates in this conference, and this was organized at Hyderabad, and the participants were 56 countries. So this is the snapshot that tells the summary of these impact of these training courses. So 15 training courses, then attended by 485 participants. 422 were from different NARS public and CGR institutes, 63 from private, and there was balance of gender balance. Like we can see that women participants, more than 100 women were participated in these training courses, and we can see that a considerable portions were equally represented from the developing world. Like Africa, there were 89 candidates from African countries, besides 365 from India. So these are the different images of these training courses, and many of us attended these training courses, and many of us can find ourselves in these photos. So, and concerning this conferences, he organized world-class conferences, and these are the more than 10 conferences were organized during this the period of 16 years, and there were more than 3,000 plus participants in these conferences. So here we can see that one of the conference, that is Interdot, which was a grand success. It was organized in Hyderabad, and many participants from NARS partner, including IPR, attended these. And here we can see these many stalwarts of agriculture like Dr. R.S. Pravda, Dr. Patnaik, then DSC Secretary Dr. Sapan Datta, who was ex-DDG, Crop Science. Like these were attended by eminent people and participants worldwide. Now, if we summarize his journey, it was a colossal. We can say that this same rise and rise of Rajiv Vasne from 2005 to 2021. So this is the slide which explains everything. So he sequenced 11 crop genomes. Now using these genomic tools, there were 11 molecular breeding varieties were released. Out of these 500 papers he published, 19 were in Nature journals. He mobilized funds that pertain around $100 million US. He collaborated with more than 180 partners from 35 different countries, and then led 115 research R&D projects. He had more than 50 awards and fellowships to his credit. So, and more than 10 conferences attended by more than 3,000 participants, like training, etc., etc. And it seems like the work of more than 100 people, if you see. And concerning resource mobilization, he had projects which mobilized. He led projects that mobilized more than 68 million US. And if we compare this amount with the Indian currency, then it goes around 500 crore. And the mega project he led were Center of CEG, DSC, National Food Security Mission, then tropical legumes, gobi, and hydrofood genotyping, STPG. And these are the different collaborators: IFBR, ICRISAT, and DBT, and USAID, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. These were the major funder of those projects. So now, not only publication, but his studies are being widely cited. So so far he has published 450. I think his number has already gone 500 by now. And of these 500 articles, 19 articles in Nature journals, and he is having an H-index of 109. And it is an incredible feat. And I think, he is the only agriculture or biology scientist who has achieved this feat. And he is the most author in this collaborate for 8 consecutive years. And he has published in high impact journals like Nature, Nature Biotechnology, Nature Genetics, PNS, Nature Communications, and likewise. So here we can see the snapshot of Google Scholar, which clearly shows its H-index 109, then citation more than 48,000 citation, and some of his highly cited articles, like one published in Trends in Biotechnology, is still the highest cited journal of highest cited article of that journal. And these are the media coverages to his achievements. And he is TEDx speaker. He is elected fellow of all the societies in India, and 10 academic societies, we can say that, which includes not only India, USA, Germany, Africa, and he is recipient of almost all major awards in India, like Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, Rafi Ahmed Kidwi Award, J.C. Bose Fellowship, and many awards from other countries like China, USA, Nepal, UAE, Vietnam, etc. And most interestingly, he is the most sought after speaker in world level conferences like G8 conference, World Bank, and the conferences organized by World Bank and FAO and IAEA. And here we can see the snapshot or the media coverage when he was awarded Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award, one of the, we can say, the topmost ICR award. He was awarded in 2020. So this is the coverage covered by media coverage by national and international media. Like when he decoded the pigeon genome sequence, so a wide coverage was there internationally, nationally as well as internationally. And more recently, he published his journal in Nature based on 3,000 chickpea genomes, which was covered by New York Times. So this feat was also incredible. So now, coming to end, I end my presentation here, where I highlight that the Africa Food Pride, which was based on the projects which he led, this tropical legume project, which he led from 2007 to 2020 HPI, and this award was recognized for helping 25 million farmers in 13 countries to improve income and food production in African countries like Burkina Faso, Ghana, Mali, and so on. So now, with this, I thank him very much for his immense contribution. And as Dr. IP Singh said, that he is not only a great scientist but also a good, an excellent human being, and it's, I think, a virtue. And our last wishes and all the best for his new roles as director in State Agriculture Biotechnology Center and the Center for Crop and Food Innovation. And we wish him all the best, and hope that the collaboration doesn't end here and it continues like that. And he invites people for training and human resource development there also in ICRISAT. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abhishek. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so now I invite our head of division. Okay, now I invite Dr. Shiv Sevak, Director IPR, for his remark.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर बोरा। सादर नमस्कार सभी को।
थैंक यू सर।
रिस्पेक्टेड डॉक्टर वासने सर, डायरेक्टर स्टेट एग्रीकल्चरल बायोटेक्नोलॉजी सेंटर, डायरेक्टर सेंटर फॉर द क्रॉप एंड फूड इनोवेशन, इंटरनेशनल चेयर इन एग्रीकल्चर एंड फूड सिक्योरिटी at Australia, project coordinator Dr. IP Singh, head of the department crop improvement Dr. Faran Singh, Dr. Samir Kumar from ICRISAT, Dr. Rajiv, Dr. Datta, Dr. Sudhakar, Dr. Tikle, Dr. Indrajit, Muniswamy, Dr. Rajamani and Dr. Nayak, Dr. Jha, and other colleagues who joined this felicitation function on virtual mode. I welcome you all in this felicitation function of Dr. Vasne. As we know, in India, the area of the pigeon pea is round about 5 million hectares, and the production was 4.28 million tons. In 14-15, the production was 2.81, and it increased. It increased to 4.28 during 2021. And this is all due to development of high-yielding varieties of pigeon pea. These varieties are disease resistant also, and particularly the seed of new varieties is going to farmers, and farmers are using the seed of new varieties. So this is the remarkable achievement. As far as pigeon pea research is concerned, in India, in pulses, pigeon pea research is initiated during 1967 through the AICRP on pulses. Till then, the research is going on, and we are developing varieties and protection technologies and management of diseases, etc. But the research on pigeon pea, particularly on genomics resources part, has started in 2005, where we have certain DNA markers available with majority of these markers are costly like RFLP and less efficient like RAPD. An extremely narrow genetic base of pigeon pea greatly hampered the development genomic resources in pigeon pea at that time. And team of Dr. Vasner started developing large-scale molecular markers for breeding application in pigeon pea. We can say that he spearheaded the application of next-generation sequencing in pigeon pea. The greatest feat of his team has achieved in pigeon pea research was the development of draft genome sequence of one of the most popular variety, Asha, published in 2011. So after soybean, it became the second food legume crop which whole genome sequence was reported. Advances in pigeon pea genomics led to change its status from a genomic orphan crop to now this crop enjoys the abundance of genomic tools and technology. Like chickpea, IIPR has great collaboration with Dr. Rajiv, which led to development of various high-quality publications, improved crop products, advanced breeding lines for cultivation at farmers' field. We work together in ICRISAT collaborative schemes, and some projects such as DSE funded scheme are there in collaboration with ICRISAT. Most importantly, Dr. Vasner not only developed the modern tools and technologies that leveraged the basic research in pigeon pea, but also put emphasis on the application of these genomic resources for the product development. There are several improved lines that are under development through a variety of genomic assisted approaches. And some molecular breeding product, as told by Dr. Bora, has been released, developed and released in various parts of the world and in our country also. So Dr. Rajiv has also done a great contribution in capacity building, such as training people, researchers in the field of genomics in the form of various training programs and field days regularly conducted by him. We wish him all success in his future endeavor and strongly believe that he will remain a great collaborator and great friend of IIPR and entire pigeon pea research community. He is full of knowledge and ideas. In nutshell, in the last, I must say that, as Dr. I.P. Singh already told, he is a very good researcher, very good scientist, and very good human. So I may summarize that he is a great scientist, great person with very simple personality. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you to
Thank
all.
you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for your remarks that how the collaborative efforts between ICRISAT, IPR, and other NARS partner under his leadership led to the acceleration of the pigeon pea breeding program. So now I invite our head, Dr. Fadinder Singh, for his remarks.
Good morning to all of you, sir. And from this IIPR, I welcome to all of you, our respected Dr. Varsana Saab, our beloved Director, Dr. Sisuji, Project Coordinator, Dr. IP Singh, all the excellent pigeon pea breeders. Good morning to all of you. I think Dr. Bohra has covered everything about Dr. Varsane Saab. Nothing is left there. Our previous speaker, everything they have covered. But still, I would like to say something about Dr. Varsane Saab. Dr. Varsane has made outstanding contribution in the area of crop genomics and molecular breeding, particularly in decoding the genomes of important legume crops such as chickpea and pigeon pea. The genomic resources that has developed are being used in breeding improved crop varieties that are resistant biotic and abiotic stressors. Dr. Varsane has a key collaborator of our crop improvement division, as already highlighted by our director and Dr. Bohra, that Varsane played a crucial role in advancing cutting-edge genomics tools and technologies, including whole genome sequence, for accelerating the progress of pigeon pea genetic improvement. We worked on several projects or programs in pigeon pea covering a variety of aspects. One of the remarkable scheme was delivering more produce and income to farmers through enhancing genetic gains in chickpea and pigeon pea. This scheme aimed at implementing the large-scale genomic resources of improving the breeding efficiency in pigeon pea. The multi-location phenotyping of advanced line planned under this project has led to development of several improved lines of pigeon pea, several of which are under cultivation in AICRP. One of the recent our released pigeon pea varieties IPA 15-06 was also tested under this scheme. We conducted large-scale genotyping and phenotyping of germplasm collection, such as composite collection for trait discovery and future breeding. To overcome the long-standing problem of low genetic polymorphism, Dr. Varsane has started developing multi-parent design in like NAME, and magic population, and shared with us these valuable genetic resources for trait mapping and breeding. We have started improving Pahar variety using marker-assisted backcrossing (MABC) approach to overcome its major defect, that is susceptibility to fusarium wilt disease. We collaborated in the development of high-density SNP array in pigeon pea. Most recently, we were also involved in the molecular diagnostic toolkits using gene-specific SNP markers to allow selection and pyramiding of the resistant against SMD and fusarium wilt. Two most important diseases of pigeon pea, ICRISAT collaboration under his leadership in pigeon pea hybrid program was also important to mention here, which also helped greatly to strengthen this program. As Dr. Bohra has already mentioned, that he has been honored with elected and honorary fellowship from a dozen academies, society, and awards from USA, Germany, China, India, Nepal, Vietnam, Philippines, UAE, including Santi Swarup Bhatnagar Prize and Rafi Ahmad Kidwai Award. The Science and Agriculture Sciences Awards from Government of India in 2015 and 19 respectively. This is all about the achievement made by and collaboration with IIPR and his own achievement. I wish Dr. Varsade great success for his new assignment in Australia. Thank you, sir. Thanks, all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Faninder Singh, for your remark and how that our division became a strong collaborator of Dr. Vasne and ICRISAT to improve pigeonpea program nationwide. So now the floor is open to participants. So there are some names in the list, but that is not limited to these names. So any participants who wants to interact with others or with Dr. Vasne can raise his hand and then he can interact. So, but I will be starting with this list. So now the time for invited forwards, and now I invite Dr. Samir Kumar, CV Samir Kumar, to for his remarks or sharing experience with Dr. Vasne, as he has been working with him for a long time. So, Dr. Samir.
Yeah, thank you, Boraji. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, good morning, everybody. Honorable Shivshek ji, the Director of IIPR, Dr. Rajiv Varshni, my beloved boss, and Dr. Faninder Singh, Dr. IP Singh Saab, and Dr. Tikle, and the entire PGNP who are participating in this program today across all the state agricultural universities and Indian Institute of Pulses Research. So first of all, it's my distinct honor to say a few words about Dr. Rajiv Varshni, and I can definitely say that he has his own signature in Indian agriculture, and he will be forever as all-time greats of Indian agriculture. So he has his own signature on that, and he is all-time great of Indian agriculture, and there will be no dispute on that. He will remain as one of the all-time greats of Indian agriculture, just like Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. And the thing is, already it was explained by my earlier speakers, and particularly Dr. IP Singh Saab mentioned about his personality. So as far as I am concerned, he is a complete human being. Human being in the sense, you have seen the laurels or accolades or the peaks which are climbed by Dr. Rajiv. But having said that, at the same time, he is down to earth, humble, and heart-touching personality. And he recognizes everybody by name. And God has given the extraordinary memory power. Even if you meet him after a period of 2 or 3 years or 5 years, he can call you by his name. So that is the greatness of Dr. Varshni, and he is a complete human being. And all these extraordinary, he is a confluence of extraordinary traits which he has acquired thanks to our namaskaras to his parents and God for giving such a beautiful personality for our agriculture community, particularly for the legumes community. So coming to my journey with Dr. Rajiv, I had a scintillating and exciting journey over a period of more than 10 years. From 2008 to almost even today. Also, I am in close association with Dr. Rajiv. And one or two incidences, we traveled together to Canada, Saskatoon, and the energy which he has, carrying 35-40 kgs of suitcase, and moving very fastly in the airport. I feel that myself, I am a physically fit man. I do go to the gym daily and exercise a lot, but I could not match his energy. Even 4 to 5 kilometers in the airport, keeping the same steps along with Rajiv Varshni was not a task for me. So that is the energy he has. And the thing is, in a working atmosphere, he creates a sort of aura in the sense he always has that exuberance, zeal, and enthusiasm. So probably you might be knowing him when you meet him in ICRISAT for a meetings, or when you meet him in a conference or any other programs, maybe once or twice, or maybe few days in a year. But I could closely watch him 24/7. He is having the same energy and same zeal, and he creates an aura for himself, and the surrounding people are, whatever may be the situation, he creates a lively atmosphere, and he makes other people to work. And his motto mainly is "Sabke Saath and Sabka Vikas." So that is his main motto. We can see that translating into the products across India, across the different parts of the African countries, all those things. So apart from that, one of the beautiful traits of Dr. Rajiv Varshni is he always has a long-term vision. He thinks 20 years ahead of us. 20 years ahead of us. How having sequenced the pigeonpea genome, having sequenced the chickpea genome, and all other things, he didn't quite stay calm in the episode. He has created humongous genomic resources, which were highlighted by Bohraji and Shiv Sheikh Saab and Farinder Singh Ji. So the humongous genomic resources are mainly the brainchild of Dr. Rajiv because of his long-term vision, because his ability to think about 10 to 20 years ahead. So that is the greatness of Dr. Rajiv. And even yesterday also there was one publication on QTL-seq for identification of the flowering trait and upcarted leaf shapes in pigeonpea. That is it's a recent publication, very recently published on January 12th. So such is the beauty of Dr. Rajiv Varshni. And apart from that, finally, I want to say that his ability to build strong partnerships. So because of that partnerships only, we are sitting here. Earlier, so many scientists worked in ICRISAT, they worked in genomics, they worked in other parts of crop improvement programs. But the strong linkages and the strong building of the partnerships is possible only by Dr. Rajiv Varshni. So I want to thank Dr. Shiv Sheikh Saab and Farinder Singh Saab and IP Singh and Dr. Bohra and Satish for organizing such an excellent program to say few words about Dr. Rajiv Varshni. And I wish him all the best. He is very young, and we can bless him because he is a young boy, more than 5 years younger to me. So I wish you, we will have all our blessings, sir, to you, and we wish you all the best in future endeavors. And definitely, even after 10 years, you will definitely have the caliber. Even today, also you have the caliber to become ICRDG. So that is your strength and your even your biodata speaks that. So we wish that you will be back as an ICRDG, and I pray God that if that should happen, so each and every scientific community and agriculture farmer in India will be a luckiest person. So I wish you all the best, Dr. Rajiv, and thank you, the IAPR, for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir bhai. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for your kind remarks. And yeah, he is having elephant memory. He never forgets. I actually have worked with him for 16 years, even 12 years. Or sorry. So, but I know that he remembers everything. So he is having an elephant memory. Elephant never forgets. It is saying that elephant never forgets. So now I invite Dr. R.S. Raje, principal scientist from IRI, for his remark, and he has also been in close association with Dr. Varshni in several programs. So, Dr. Raje.
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Honorable Director IIPR, Coordinator PGNP, and my senior PGNP breeders and my dear friends. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Rajiv Varshni ji for the outstanding landmark path-breaking research achievements in terms of genomic research as well as application of molecular markers in pigeonpea breeding in particular, and also in other legumes as well. I remember when I had joined as a pigeonpea breeder in IRI, at that time there were not genomic resources or even the availability of molecular markers was not there. Now, if we see right now, today, already the products derived through molecular markers or using molecular marker assisted selection, they are already there. So really hats off to Dr. Rajiv Varshney for all the contribution in the research and the products as well. And of course, as Dr. Bora has already summarized all the achievements, it is really unparalleled. Means if we compare, I always compare his achievements with the great batsman in the world, Sachin Tendulkar. And there is a great analogy in the achievements which are achieved by Sachin Tendulkar and our batsman in genomic research for crop improvement. We wish him that he will play very, very long and great innings ahead in the lifetime. And coming back to collaboration with Dr. Varshney, we have a good collaboration. He has already provided us a mapping population, and we are using it in the breeding of early maturing varieties already. And whenever Dr. Varshney visited IRI, always he had means as looking to his great stature, but he is very down to earth, and he always called me and always interacted with me. We had very good interactions, and he also visited our field and encouraged us for breeding of improved plant type. So we find him a great human being in him, a great scientist, of course, contributing significantly in the genomic resources and also the product derived through marker assisted selection. And really, we look forward to a great collaboration, of course, guidance from him in the near future. And I wish him very much success, great success, healthy life, happy life ahead from all of us from IRI PGNP breeding team. And thank you for providing me a chance to express my feelings about the outstanding contributions made by Dr. Varshney. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv, for your comparison of Dr. Varshney with with Sachin Tendulkar is very valid, because I remember when I worked with him during PhD days. So I left PhD, then we didn't have a genetic map, and that first genetic map was published during 2011, and then I left ICRISAT at that time and joined IFPR. And within 1 year, he completed the genome sequencing of pigeon pea, and the genome sequence of pigeon pea was published within 1 year. In the scenario was we didn't have a single genetic map. Genetic map was published in 2011, and even in November 2011, the pigeon pea genome sequence was recorded, and it was full published in 2012. So within 1 year of this whole development took place. Yeah, so the pace of progress you can see that see clearly. So now I invite Dr. Sudhakar Chorat from Kandur. So he is also a close collaborator and worked in different schemes like DSC funded scheme that on improving genetic gain in pigeon pea. So Dr. Sudhakar.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Respected Director IIPR and Dr. IP Singh sir, Harindra Singh sir, Abhishek Boraje, and all my colleagues and partners. Good morning to one and all. Today we have joined virtually to bid farewell to one of our best friend, philosopher and guide, Dr. Rajiv. It is so difficult to let go a person who has done so much for the organization, and Dr. Rajiv is that person. Dr. Rajiv has worked for ICRISAT for 16 years, and throughout all those years he has contributed immensely. I'm not going into the details of them. He is known for his professional behavior and hard work, and I'm sure you have a set benchmark for all the others, sir. Dr. Rajiv is recognized as a leader in genomic sequencing, genomic assisted breeding, translational genomics and capacity building in international agriculture. He has made pioneering contributions by integrating advanced discoveries in genomics with crop improvement, especially in legumes in developing countries, sir. And the developing countries like India, where pigeon pea is a major pulse crop, we also got benefited through his contributions and with his associations. Rajiv, you are a mentor and inspiration to many of us over here. I remember whenever a new project on pigeon pea is proposed, Dr. Rajiv has never forgot to include ARS Tandur, that is PJTSU, as a partner, sir. The way you have contributed to the pigeon pea improvement in PJTSU cannot be put into words, sir. We will surely miss you as you are proceeding to assume a new role at Murdoch University. Dr. Rajiv is not only a good scientific mentor, but also a very good friend to many of us. I hope everyone agrees with my views. You were always kind and greeted everyone with respect. You patiently listen to your junior problems and always try to help them find the solution. And because of that, the working environment was always in a positive thing. In addition to your professionalism, you have a set of personality traits, as Dr. Samir was saying, that many wish to have, many of us. You are a talented and honest person who is always productive and most trusted to get the job done. I remember we welcomed you at Tandur couple of occasions for field visiting. And I can surely say that it was an enriching experience to gain practical knowledge and pigeon pea improvement. Particularly our younger breeders benefited a lot due to our association with you and could release a pigeon pea variety at national level recently, sir. That is CDRG 59. It's a product of our DSC project. Mostly your humor and the way you manage everyone without any feeling left alone is a talent in itself, sir. You're not only a great colleague, but also a good son, father, and husband. Your approach to balancing both professional life and personal life is truly incredible, because we got connected on Facebook, and I'll see how you are balancing your professional life with your family, personal life, sir. You never allowed your personal life to affect your productivity at the workplace, and we are always on a mission to make institutions successful. I look around and always wonder who will fill your void, and I'm sure seeing your efforts at ICRISAT, many of your colleagues will get inspired to outperform themselves in the future, sir. To conclude, I would like to say that it is sad to see you leave. But the moment we all shared and the memories we made with you will always be remembered, sir. On behalf of everyone, I wish you good luck with your new job. Because of your personality, I'm sure that you will find your new workplace pleasant and will surely reach greater heights, sir, in your new assignment. Thank you for your association and hand-holding the smaller research stations like ARS Tandur. So in this regards, on my personal behalf and on behalf of PJTSAU, Professor Jayashankar Telangana State Agriculture University, I congratulate from the core of my heart on your new role as the Director State Agricultural Biotechnology Center, Director Center for Crop and Food Innovation, and International Chair in Agriculture and Food Security with the Food Futures Institute, Murdoch University, Australia. And I immensely thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to bid farewell to Dr. Rajiv sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sudhakar sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhakar, for your message to Dr. Rajiv Vasne, and thanks for highlighting his virtues both as a scientist and a great human being. So now I invite Dr. Tikle for his remark. Dr. Tikle is a very senior person and he has retired now and settled in Bhopal. So it will be a great pleasure to listen a senior person like him. Dr. Tikle.
Thank you, Dr. Bora. Namaskar, Rajiv ji, Dr. IP Singh ji, Dr. Director साहब, परिंदर सिंह जी, बोरा जी, राजे जी, मुनिस्वामी, समीर, आप सभी से मिलकर बहुत बहुत खुशी हुई कि आपने मुझे जो इसके लिए जो इनवाइट किया ताकि मैं आप लोगों से फिर से मिल सका. बहुत 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 धन्यवाद आपको. Yeah, I was associated with the ICRISAT since 2009 when I was called by Dr. K.D. Saxena to join the pigeonpea hybrid breeding program. And then after with the collaboration of ICRISAT, we released one medium duration hybrid, that is RV-ICPS 2671 in Madhya Pradesh. Thereafter, with the inception of IFAT project by Rangarao, so I was also associated with the pigeonpea development program. That was a program with two countries, India and Myanmar, and I was also associated in that program. Thereafter, that program was carried out further by Dr. P.M. Gore, and till my retirement, I was associated with the ICRISAT through that program. And thereafter, in 2016, Dr. Rajiv launched one mega project. Actually, the pigeonpea genomics program was started in 2005, but since then, that product was not being taken to the land. So that was his wish that whatever they have developed at ICRISAT, that should go to the farmers, that should go to the actually pigeonpea breeders, so that they can utilize this, whatever they have derived from this biotechnical programs or the molecular breeding program. All those lines and all those derivatives they wanted to deliver to the breeders of the pigeonpea breeders of India, and through them it should be disseminated to the farmers directly. That was his aim. So in 2016, he launched one program that is delivering more produce and benefit to the farmers by enhancing genetic gain in chickpea and pigeonpea. So I was associated directly with Dr. Rajiv Varshney in that project. So that was a very, very, very good project through which many derivatives and segregants and many more lines from all other states. So actually through that project only, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, these three states were more benefited by getting much of the material from ICRISAT for selections and disseminating some lines directly to the farmers. So that was a very good project, and till my retirement, I was associated with that project. So it was its quality that whatever we have done through research, that should have been delivered to the farmers. That was the major aim. So he tried for this, and through this project also, and also he could make it big achievement that all these lines were disseminated to the farmers for the benefit of the farmers' family. So whenever I used to go to ICRISAT, I used to meet Dr. Rajiv Varshney because I was associated since long, from 2009 to 2019 till my retirement. So I found him very laughing, very joyful personality. He always been regarding his seniors. Yeah, whenever I used to go to IIT. So what Dr. IP Singh and Dr. Felicitation Singh said, that he is really human, complete human being. So he never had any ego for that, whatever he was, whatever he is. But he had always been friendly with us, always been friendly. And also he used to regard me too much, being elder person, he always used to regard. So it was his quality that he had no ego, not at all ego, but being a friendly with everyone. That's why I remember him for his friendliness all the time. And I wish Dr. Varshney a very, very successful future. And he will also be associated with us for a long time also. Thank you. और मैं आप सभी का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आपने मुझे जो है अभी भी याद किया और आपके साथ जोड़कर जो है फिर से मुझे बुलाया. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद बोरा जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. आपका नाम तो सबसे पहले मैंने याद किया सर कि टिकले सर को जरूर बुलाना है. एंड ही वाज द लॉन्ग long term collaborator of ICRISAT, and आपका experience भी काफी था pigeonpea में.
जी हाँ, जी हाँ.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
एसोसिएशन बड़ा लंबा रहा मेरा, 10-11 साल का रहा.
हाँ, काफी दिनों बाद मुलाकात हुई सर आज.
जी.
Nice to see you, sir. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, he rightly pointed out that Dr. Vasni placed equal emphasis on product development, not only the development of genomic tools and technologies, but their implementation also for the welfare of farmers. So now I invite Dr. Muniswamy from Gulbarga, and he is also a student like me of Dr. Vasni, and he is also in close collaboration since he studied at ICRISAT and did PhD with sir. So Dr. Muniswamy.
Thank you, Bora. Thank you very much. So, good morning to all of you, respected Director of APR, the respected Coordinator of pigeonpea, Dr. IP Singh sir, and today's the focal point, Dr. respected Rajiv Vashne sir, all my senior colleagues, Dr. Samir Kumar sir, Dr. Rajiv, and all senior colleagues. Thank you for giving the opportunity, and I'm very fortunate to be part of the felicitation function. So first of all, I wish you happy Makara Sankranti to you and your family, Dr. Rajiv sir. So as you know, all of you are aware that the Makara Sankranti, there will be a change in the solar cycle. So sun changes its direction and path of rotation. Like that, you have also taken a new position after the Sankranti. So at the outset, I would congratulate and I wish you all the best for your new position, sir. So I really feel proud that I am fortunate to do my part of PhD work under your valuable guidance. I really remember that one, sir. And also beside that, as already IP Singh sir told, and Dr. Samir Kumar briefly summarized your personality in total. So you are a very good human being, apart from a great scientist and very kind-hearted person. As Samir told, you recognize all junior scientists also. So I feel proud when you take my name, telling that you are my student, like that. If you take my name, I'm always feel very proud, sir. Really, I'm blessed to work under your guidance for part of my PhD work. So actually, my journey started with introduction by the Professor P.S. Dharmaraj, sir. So I should remember him. He actually introduced me to your. Yeah, sir. Yeah. He is no more. Yeah. He was ex-head of the ASRP pigeonpea at ZRS Kalburgi. He also introduced pigeonpea crop to me. So our collaboration started with the USAID project during 2012. Since then, we are working in collaboration for many projects. Sir, I proudly say that there are some promising materials. We have submitted 3 of them to the ASRP. Now they are in IVT trial. So they are very promising. Definitely. Out of 3, 1 or 2 definitely going to come out of the successfully come out of in the trials. So I will fully acknowledge those materials to you, sir. So I dedicate those materials to you. So definitely they will see the light of the day. Those are materials are very good. That is the contribution from you in the DSC project. There are NAM population lines, meterly lines. So apart from that, I have a shortage of words to express my deep sense of gratitude to Rajiv sir for his collaboration. His collaboration molded my career to a new shape. So, and I feel proud to say that one of the research article where I am co-author published in Nature Genetics on whole genome sequencing for 292 pigeonpea accessions. So it was greatly appreciated by our Vice Chancellor for having published with a great scientist in a good NAS-rated journal. And also, I was fortunate to receive an appreciation award from Rajiv Vashne sir during February 2020. So it was my favorite award, sir. Thank you for that one. Definitely, your absence will create a lot of vacuum in ICRISAT. At ICRISAT, it is difficult to replace your personality and position. And once again, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, sir. I know you are a good organizer of the seminars and conferences and many other events, trainings, etc. So if we get any opportunity to work with your collaboration, definitely we'll collaborate. And if we get the opportunity to participate in any conferences to your institution, we'll be very happy to visit your place also, sir. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and I wish all the best for your family as well. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity to express my few words on this occasion. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Muniswamy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Muniswamy. Yeah, yes, I strongly agree with you that Dr. Vasne never forgets to name his collaborators or students or friends in the open forum. And I remember that he always takes your name with me. Whenever he takes my name, he takes your name and Rajiv's name also when it comes to me.
Yes,
So,
actually, two persons I remember. Two persons, Dr. Singh sir and Dr. Rajiv Vasne sir, they fully support of all the activities. I also should thank IP Singh sir. See, he supports very lot for the PGNP meeting at Kalburgi, and also thank both the sirs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Muniswamy. So now I invite Dr. Indrajit Singh, professor from PAU Ludhiana. So he has also been working in PGNP for a long time and in close collaboration with ICRISAT and Dr. Vasne. So Dr. Singh.
Thank you, Dr. Bora. So chief guest of today's function, Dr. Rajiv Vasne, Director IIPR Kanpur, Dr. Shiv Shipji, Project Coordinator PGNP, Dr. IP Singh, Dr. Frindra Singh, Head Crop Improvement Division, other fellow scientists from IIPR and other ECRIP centers. So good afternoon to all. Happy Makar Sankranti and Happy New Year. At the outset, I want to congratulate Dr. Rajiv Vasne for getting prestigious position of Director of 2 institutes in Australian University. Here I will not consider Dr. Rajiv as lucky to be got selected, but I will consider the Australian institutes to be lucky one who have identified a scientist like Dr. Vasne. And I am fully confident that he will justify his selection and elevate the name of these institutes like as he did in ICRISAT. So many nice things have already been said about scientific achievements of Dr. Vasne by other speakers, and I will not repeat those, but I will say that he is a great scientist and deserves more appreciation than that. So like there are 5 F, they are important in case of PGNP like food, feed, fodder, fuel and flowers. So in function organized by Chickpea Group, Dr. Sarvjeet mentioned 5 Gs about Dr. Rajiv. Here today I will describe him with 5 Ds: dynamic, dedicated, disciplined, determined, and decent and down to earth scientist. So thank you, Dr. Rajiv Vasne, for your help and support and guidance to the PGNP Group in general and PAU in particular. I am lucky to be a partner in both Chickpea and PGNP Crop. I hope that you will continue to support PAU in future also in direct or in indirect way. But sir, we will miss you physically in the ECRIP group meets and in ICRISAT meetings, particularly as a still young scientist by heart in night lawn parties at ICRISAT. Congratulations again and all the best for future assignments and your future plans. In the end, I am very thankful to Director IIPR Kanpur and organizers for providing me opportunity and honor to speak about Dr. Rajiv Vasne. Thanks and have a good day.
Thank you very much, sir. So nice of you, Indrajit Singh.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Singh, for your remarks and wishes to Dr. Vasne. And yeah, I too believe that Australian University, Murdoch University is lucky to have an asset like Dr. Vasne in future. And he living in ICRISAT is definitely going to create a great void, not only in ICRISAT but also in genomics, Indian genomics, we can say that overall. So yeah, it's a truth. Now I invite Dr. Satish Naik for his remarks. So Satish is working in PGNP for last 5-6 years, and he has also been working with in collaboration with ICRISAT and Dr. Vasne, Dr. Rajiv. So I think he will be delivering his remarks on this collaboration. Thank you.
Respected Chairman of this function, Dr. Shiv Sir, Director AIPR Kanpur, Project Coordinator PGNP, Dr. IP Singh Sir, Head CI Division, Dr. Felicitation Singh Sir, and the chief guest of this function, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Varshne sir. A very good morning to one and all. I'm honored today to share my the views about Professor Rajiv Kumar Varshne sir. I say that I was one of the luckiest person to work and see the enthusiasm of Dr. Rajiv Varshne sir by being in the close constellation during my attachment training with Professor Samir sir by being at ICRISAT. There are many things about Rajiv sir, but the words are the limit to express his scientific attainments. But I don't have any hesitation to say that today Professor Rajiv Varshne sir is a brand to the youngsters. If we type the name Professor Rajiv Kumar Varshne, then the search engine directly places us to the mainland of genetics and molecular breeding. So earlier, once it was an island, now it is the mainland. Though India is a land of pulses, but world knew them as orphan crops for a long period. Eventually, the phrase orphan crop reframed as resource-rich crop. The credit goes to Professor Rajiv Kumar Varshne sir. Hope this reframing of the phrase suffices the explanation of his scientific achievement. Sir, as I am representing the young researchers, so no doubt that your name as a personality, or you are the fuel for the young brains. Your name, saying your name creates the vibration in our thoughts, and it is the inspiration for us to work and to walk like you. And every young researcher wanted to be like you. With this, I wish a very happy, healthy and prosperous new year to you, sir, and a very successful future endeavor. Thank you one and all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Satish. So now we have listened to senior most from PGNP group, Dr. Tigle, and the youngest from our PGNP group, that is Satish. So the invited forwards are now closed, but I actually I would like to invite some of the my friends like Rachit. I think I forgot to keep his name here, but he is the key person, and it will be actually it will not be completed if we not listen him. So I would personally request Rachit to give his.
Thank you, Abhishek, and good afternoon to everyone. It's a perfect time, Abhishek, because I should be in the last, and because I kept on listening all other, and seriously, even before at the ICRISAT, when we were talking about these all things which were happening, especially about leaving of Rajiv sir from ICRISAT and moving to the new place, it was not that easy for us to, frame the words and sentences and try to engulf all those things, or maybe I can say like digest. So it was really tough for us to digest, but somehow what we understood, everything, whatever happens for good. And this journey, once we started 15 years back, it has to reach up to, the maybe I can say it's a new milestone which we have achieved, and this will carry on further. And I'm really thankful to the Rajiv sir, especially in the case that how he supported the entire program, what we were operating at ICRISAT, especially in collaboration with all of you. And I really feel, privileged to have collaborators like you, and where we get the support from every and each person. And explaining about the Rajiv sir, and especially at this moment, is not that easy. What I could say, what I could tell right now, that he's a person of the commitment. And once he committed, it's like Salman Khan. He never listens, and to others, and not only for himself also. So, so the commitment is the best quality what he is having, and we would like to achieve that kind of commitment. And once we commit something, either to the work or to the colleagues or to any student or even any the partner. He tries to fulfill those commitments, and this is the quality which is still I really would like to cultivate in myself and would like to move forward with the same spirit. So today is, of course, is the day for the Rajiv sir, and it will keep on. So I mean, like on the other side, that this is the day for Rajiv sir. That when we are saying as a Pigeon P team, bye to him. But this is, I think, someone's mic is on, right? So this way, the short while, but once he will reach there and he will start functioning, and of course we would start working in again in the top gear and trying to bring all those products what we have developed to the farmer field. As many of the products have already been shared to the different partners, there may be many more which are going to be shared in coming future. So by this thing, I would really wish Rajiv sir a very happy, prosperous, and fruitful new career, where he would achieve many more, yeah, the accolades and try to bring uh, the new things, new ideas, which can further can help to the crops, not only pigeon pea but many more crops. So thank you very much, and we would like to see you growing, glowing, and shining like a star as always. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rajit. And
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
the Pigeon Pea community is grateful to you and Dr. Vasne, and definitely they are going to miss you. And we wish that you both continue in working. You both include Pigeon Pea also in your future research work, so that this community is get benefits in future also. So now I think we have completed all the listed participants. So I request if anyone is there, so that he can raise hand, wants to speak or share his experience with Dr. Vasne. So I think, sir, I think people are waiting to listen you now.
Okay.
So we call. So yeah, now I invite Dr. Vasne, and so he has spent 16 years, 1.5 decade at ICRISAT in doing excellent research in the two key legume crops, chickpea and pigeon pea. And it is actually our pleasure to listen him. And we call him showstopper whenever he in every conference or in he is the highly sought after speaker. So it is actually a pleasure and of the community and to listen you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abhishek. And good afternoon, everyone. Let me recognize first the presence of Honorable Director Dr. Shiv Sevak sir, Director of IIPR, ACRIP Coordinator Dr. IP Singh, Head of Division of IIPR Dr. Farinder Singh, and many other senior colleagues including Dr. Tekle, Dr. Samir Kumar, Dr. Sudhakar Chaurat, Dr. Inderjit Singh, Dr. Dibyendu Datta, Dr. Kutte. I see many other colleagues like Dr. Abha Tiwari, Dr. Mishra, Dr. Chauhan, and many friends including Dr. Rajiv, Munishwami, Satish, Uday, Rachit, Abhishek, many colleagues, and also many friends from ICRISAT, also Manish Pandey, Manish Surkiwal or so. And all the friends who are here in this meeting, I'm really grateful to all of you that you found time on this auspicious day. Many of you are celebrating your festival, but you are here, so I'm really grateful to you, for all of you, from the core of my heart. Now I would like to thank Dr. IP Singh and Dr. Abhishek Bohra to organize this function with strong support from the director, Dr. Shiv Sevak, and Dr. Farinder Singh, the head of the division from IIPR. Thank you very much for organizing this felicitation program. It would have been nice to meet you in person and maybe having a cup of tea and coffee with samosa or jalebi something, but somehow because of this pandemic this could not happen. But nevertheless, it's really good, as Dr. Tekle mentioned, that now through this function at least we could see each other and we can meet, we can talk to each other. So I think this is really good. So thank you very much, and I'm so much overwhelmed to hear so many kind words and very nice words from all the friends, all the colleagues, all the senior people. I'm happy to receive the kind words from the all stalwarts. Thank you very much, Dr. Singh sir, Dr. IP Singh sir, for those introductory words. You mentioned, and I think more than when people ask that what gives you more satisfaction, that you have published so many papers, so many products, this and this. I think they are okay, but I feel more happy when people are saying nice words, like for instance, that I'm a good human being, I'm a simple person, I'm down to earth, and all these things, adjective which you told, Dr. IP Singh, other people told, they really indicate that, well, we have earned something while working at ICRISAT, while working in collaboration with all of you for last 16 years or so. And you particularly, Dr. IP Singh, you have been a great support for ICRISAT, for our program. As a program director, whenever I invite you for anything, you are always there. So I'm really thankful to you. Director sir, Dr. Shiv Sevak sir, and division head, Dr. Farinder Singh, thank you very much for your kind words and for highlighting the collaboration of that crop improvement division, in particular pigeonpea, and we also work with the chickpea and IIPR with ICRISAT, and for very strong collaboration between the both organizations, and you both have played very important roles together with the former directors or so. And I'm really grateful to you for all your support for ICRISAT, for all of our program, and thank you very much for all your kind words and finding the time. Then there were many other senior people who really spoke very nicely. And I think sometimes I was laughing because it seems that you are very generous. Either you are very generous, or that's what I think, or because your words, they were very hyperbolic. I don't think that I deserve that much. But when everyone is saying, I'm feeling that probably this is true as well. But anyway, so I'm thankful to all of you. Samir sir, you have been a great friend for a long time. Yes, we worked together at ICRISAT, and after that, when you left, then we continued to work. You mentioned that case of that Canada airport. I do not remember exactly which airport, but yes, I generally run fast. You mentioned about the suitcase, so I can tell you a secret, and this is for all of you. Your suitcase might not have the wheels. My suitcase had the wheels. That's the reason I could carry it faster. So whenever you are traveling, you should have the suitcase with the wheels so that you can carry it faster.
But you're super fast bus.
And that's a joke. But anyway, so thank you very much. And you mentioned that, yes, I always do this thing, that taking all people together, whether they are friends, collaborators, colleagues. Dr. Rajay, you have been again very generous, and I know from my long time, whenever I interact with you, you always talk and you always compare me with Sachin Tendulkar, who is a great person. I never believed in that one, and I always say that you are great, or you are very generous. But now, during the last few years, I started to find some resemblance, little bit. For instance, he's 73 born, I'm also 73 born. He's short height person, I'm also short height person. And he is known for the 100 centuries or 110s or so. And when Biotech Express magazine, they were taking my interview when my H index got more than 100. Then that person also told that you are like Sachin Tendulkar, that you have published 100 papers and each paper is cited at least 100 times. So I think that, so then I remember Dr. Rajay. Oh, Dr. Rajay was telling me this thing, but I never thought at that time point that there will be these 100 tons kind of a story in my life career as well. But again, thank you, Dr. Rajay, for saying those kind words. Dr. Sudhakar has been great collaborators, friend. Whenever I visit his center, he is always bringing farmers, and this gives me a lot of happiness when I interact with the farmers, and always having some of the stories of the pigeonpea research collaborative work of ICRISAT and his center. And he has been very kind. Yes, we are the friends on the Facebook. We keep on following each other's. Thank you, Dr. Sudhakar, for always being very supportive. Dr. Trickley, very senior person, and he mentioned that I am laughing, and I always also found him laughing, very jovial person, even he's very senior. And I remember that when we were in Canada, and in Canada, I don't know, Dr. Trickley, you remember or not, but I would like to share this story with everybody. So there was one very senior stalwarts in legumes or pulses, Dr. Slinkard. Dr. Puran Gaur has done his PhD with Dr. Slinkard. And then in one evening, there was one Dr. Manjula from Sri Lanka. So he invited some of us from India and some of those senior people. And And Dr. Slinkard, he's very old person. And Dr. Gore introduced everybody that Dr. Slinkard is my Guruji. And Dr. Tickley was having 1 glass of whiskey in his hand, and he was so emotional that when he realized that Dr. Slinkard has been as Guru of Dr. Gore, so he's so nice, and then Dr. Tickley starts to touch his feet of Dr. Slinkard. But this touching the feet is not common in foreign countries, and then he could just got upset that what is happening. But anyway, we had really great time with Dr. Tickley in Canada, and also when we visited his field. He did a great hospitality. He arranged the Kadaknath, and but he didn't know that I'm a vegetarian, and then later he realized, oh Rajiv, but nevertheless. So that was also a great time. And anyway, so we already have been working together on many things. Dr. Muniswamy, you have been a great friend, collaborator, and you worked for part-time of your research at our lab. We are thankful to late Professor Dhanamraj, because with whom we started our USAID and B4 projects. He is no more, but he has left his legacy, including you, in that pigeonpea, and you are doing great work. And as when Dr. IP Singh as a project coordinator says this thing, this means a lot. So I wish you all the best, Dr. Muniswamy. I'm sure that you are going to be one of those famous pigeonpea breeder in coming years. You are already doing good work. Dr. Inderjit Singh, we had visited Punjab 2-3 times, and yes, we worked together on chickpea, pigeonpea. We shared some of the germplasm, and I'm thankful to you for all these 5Ds as well. So thank you very much, Inderjit Singh, that for your collaboration, for your kind words. Satish is a new kid in that old block, but we have been very good friends, and you have mentioned to me as a brand ambassador or so. I'm thankful to all of you. And Rachit, and I had some words to you in that last, but again, you have been one of those Kilogest friend, and we worked together for last 15 years. I think I joined ICRISAT in 16 years. I worked in ICRISAT for 16 years. You worked with me for 15 years continuously on pigeonpea, and all of this thing, what we see now, this has been coming through the different collaborative efforts, both as a PhD student, then collaborators, colleagues, and friends. So, and you mentioned about Salman Khan. I'm a great fan of Salman Khan also. So when they say that एक बार जो commitment कर दिया फिर उसके बाद भी अपनी भी नहीं सुनता, something like that one. And I think this because of these reasons, when even when genome assemblies thing were starting, and I'm also having this habit to take most challenging components. So when we were working on 3 legumes, pigeonpea, chickpea, groundnut, we had more resources, comparatively more resources in chickpea and groundnut, but we took the challenge to sequence the pigeonpea genome. And this became that really a landmark discovery, which Abhishek mentioned. Abhishek, you have been very generous to put all these slides in the form of our contribution. And I know that you worked with Swati or Abhishek, Rachit, so I think you really put a lot of your efforts. And I think you have been working, and we have been working together also for last 12-13 years. Even you moved to IIPR, but our collaboration continued. And last year has been really wonderful, productive year for me. And I always appreciate your commitment, your hard work, your contribution to the different areas. So I'm sure that like other colleagues, you are also going to be doing great work and being very famous. You are already famous, but again, you will be doing great work. So now coming back to, and also to that many other friends who could not speak, but I'm grateful to each and every one of you. So as you mentioned that I have been working at ICRISAT for last 16 years. Working on the different crops, and pigeonpea is one of those important crops. So now this is the time for me basically to express my gratitude and sincere thanks to all of you who are here. Some of them with whom I worked, they are not here in this meeting, but I'm grateful to all of them also. So for all those colleagues who are here and who are not here, but they contributed, they collaborated with us. So for all of your collaboration, contributions and support, not just professionally, but also at personal level. Whenever I have visited your center, your field, you have been so generous host. You have been very nice in organizing the thing, hospitality, interaction with the farmers, media, and nice food. You know that I'm really big foodie, so I really enjoy this great food at the different places. So thank you very much for extending all your support, for all your collaboration. And I will say that these 16 years have been very productive and fruitful while working with all of you. As I said, Abhishek already shared a lot of work that what we did, but I would like to mention that all this work what Abhishek mentioned, this is not my individual contribution, rather these are the collaborative and collective efforts of our colleagues from the Center of Excellence in Genomics and Systems Biology, from our former research program, Grain Legumes, the current research program, Accelerated Crop Improvement Program, from ICRISAT, from the Indian Institute of Pulses Research, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, state agriculture universities, from many state agriculture universities, like from several states, including Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, and many, many states with whom I had a pleasure to work with all of you. So I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all of you. Thank you very much for all your support, because I alone couldn't do this thing, but together with colleagues from ICRISAT, with you and our collaborators from all around the world, we were able to deliver that one. Now, in that little bit story that in 2005 when I joined, and Abhishek mentioned, so at that time point, we had just 10 SSR markers in pigeonpea. We used to have 11 linkage group. It was not possible even to generate the genetic map. But our dream was that how we can translate this, or how we can develop the genomic resources. We don't want to be called this pigeonpea crop or chickpea crop as an orphan crop. We wanted to call it genomic resources rich crop. And second dream of mine when I came in 2005 was how we can deliver, because I used to feel very fascinated in 2005 when the genome sequencing came for the rice, or like that came in 2000 or so. But I mean that this was the time when the genome sequences were coming up. Many important crops, they started to use these genomic resources in their breeding program. I always used to think we need to do something in the case of chickpea, pigeonpea, and peanut. And I feel so happy that during last few years in our lab, we had, I think, first student Rachit as a PhD student, then Abhishek joined, Anuja was there, Moniswamy was there. There were many PhD students who came to that lab and we worked together, and there were many people including Hema Bindu, Anu Chitkinani, Amir, Prasad, and all of you. They worked together. We worked with the other colleagues from ICRISAT, including Dr. KB Saxena, who was our pigeonpea breeder, Dr. Samir Kumar, at that time point when Dr. Saxena left. Now we have Dr. Prakash Ganga Shetty and many other colleagues from the different disciplines. Either this is from physiology, pathology, entomology, gene bank, bioinformatics, or so. So all of these colleagues from ICRISAT and all strong collaborators from IIPR, many of them they are here, but I would like to also recognize the contribution of former directors, including Dr. Masood Ali, Dr. Natarajan, Dr. NP Singh, and also some other senior colleagues like former head of division, Dr. Chaturvedi, Dr. Farinder Singh, we already have right now with us, and our partners from the state agriculture universities, including Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Telangana, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. I also see some colleagues from ARS Badnapur also. We worked with Dr. Patel earlier, Dr. Jahangir. So there are many people that with whom we work. But again, what I wanted to tell that when we brought these big community together, then we realized that nothing is impossible. We can deliver it. For instance, when we did not have the markers, very low level of polymorphism, when we did not have the population, but when we started to work with all of you, then, and Abhishek Vohra knows this thing, that one of the big challenge for him was that, well, Abhishek, we need to develop more than 3,000 SSR markers. Rachit and Abhishek, we worked together, developed the high density genetic maps, first genetic maps. Rachit was heavily involved of this draft genome, then he was heavily involved and led the efforts in, for instance, in mitochondria and whole genome sequencing. So these are this history now, these are the achievements. But then while having these different populations, phenotyping data, I think we were able to deliver that markers associated with the different traits. And I think that this was possible only because of the strong support from our donors, like Department of Biotechnology, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Generation Challenge Program, Gates Foundation Tropical Legumes Project. Many colleagues, they were also part of the TL project, USAID projects, and many other schemes with whom we work together. And we had a great time working with all of you. And again, I would like to mention some of these names who have been working as a PI and co-PI from the different institutes, including Dr. IP Singh, Dr. Vohra, Dr. Farinder Singh, Dr. Tikle, Dr. Moniswamy, Dr. Chorat, Dr. Samir Kumar, Dr. Patel, Dr. Rajiv, Dr. Inderjit Singh, Dr. Yamni, and many other colleagues who are here and not there. So I will say that we had several collaborations with you, but also in USA, Europe, and China, etc. They helped us to develop those genomic resources. And during this process, when I'm leaving after 16 years, I feel very happy and excited to say that at least two major dreams which we saw in 2005, we were able to realize those dreams as a result of all of these collaborative efforts, that now pigeon pea is not an orphan crop. This is a genomic resources rich crop. And this is thanks to all of you, not just to Rajiv Varshney, but to all of you. Second, that now we can see the deployment of molecular breeding and some of these lines in advanced stage. Abhishek mentioned some of those products, they are coming from the different research projects, not essentially from the molecular breeding, but some of these lines, they are now coming in that pipeline or so. And I think there will be there. We have developed different kind of populations and these things are coming out. So Rachit already mentioned about his moving, that he's moving to the Gujarat Bio, or he already moved to Gujarat Biotechnology University, and Rachit and work together on this pigeon pea genomics. Now, I do not know that, but maybe I would like to request, well, at this stage, I would like also to thank Rachit Saxena for all your contribution, Rachit, for the pigeon pea. And also wish you all the best at Gujarat Biotechnology University. So would like to invite all of you to join me in thanking Rachit Saxena and wishing you all the best, Rachit, for all your great work. Please continue to keep pigeon pea in your portfolio. Gujarat is also important state for pigeon pea. So please keep on working. So thank you very much, Rachit, and we will continue to work together. Now at this stage, I would also like to introduce my other colleague, Dr. Manish Pandey. Manish, you just raise your hand. So many of you know Manish from the groundnut work, groundnut genomics research. But now at ICRISAT, we have asked him to also take care of pigeon pea genomics. So now you please embrace Manish Pandey also as a pigeon pea genomics scientist in your ACRI program, in your institute. And Manish is equally competent. He has already delivered a lot of work, a lot of good products or so in the case of groundnut. And many projects which are going on, Manish, Rachit, and we had the discussion. So Rachit and myself, we will continue to work with Manish, will continue to help, and several projects or products which are coming here and there. So I think that we will be continue to do these things. So Manish, welcome you to that pigeon pea family, and I'm sure that you will enjoy working with the pigeon pea family in the same way as you have been enjoying with the groundnut thing. So we wish you all the best, Manish Pandey, for your joining the pigeon pea. Abhishek, again, I don't have enough words to thank you that even when you moved out from ICRISAT, but even as a part of that your IIPR, you continue to work with us on various projects, and especially this last DSC project, you have been delivering very good. And then again, thanks to Dr. IP Singh and Dr. Shiv Sevak sir, Dr. Farinder Singh for all their support to you. Now, this is the time for me to thank once again to all the senior colleagues from IIPR and all these leadership what you have, Dr. IP Singh, Dr. Shiv Sevak sir, Dr. Farinder Singh, and also former director once again, Dr. NP Singh, Dr. Masood Ali, Dr. Natarajan. Also would like to thank the senior leadership from ICR, Director General Dr. Mohapatra and DDG Crop Science Dr. TR Sharma for all their support for the collaborative research between ICRISAT, IIPR and the state agriculture universities. Also would like to recognize or would like to extend my sincere thanks to former DG Dr. Ayyappan sir, Dr. Mangla Rai when I joined ICRISAT, and also former DDGs Crop Sciences Dr. SK Datta, Dr. Sandhu, Dr. AK Singh, and all of our collaborators. Again and again, there several logos were there, and all the 20 or so colleagues are here. Many other people from state agriculture universities, IRI, IIPR. So we are thankful to the ACRI family, also to the IIPR. And I'm also very happy to mention that I work with Dr. IP Singh, not as a ACRI coordinator, but also in his role as a president of Indian Society for Pulses and Research and Development. And I'm also the vice president. So, sir, I will continue to work with you as a vice president for that ISPRD Executive Council. And I'm also grateful to ISPRD for that for their recognizing my efforts as an honorary fellowship, etc. So I think, so what I want to say that even I will be in Australia, but chickpea, pigeon pea, groundnut or Indian science, this will remain close to my heart. I will go out from India, but India will not go out from me. Indian agriculture will not go out from me. You will keep on seeing me on the different platform and virtual platform or the physical platform. I will keep on coming to India very frequently. As many of you mentioned, I will continue to be working with several of you. And at this stage, I would like to thank our leadership of ICRISAT Director General Jackie Hughes, Deputy Director General Research Dr. Arvind Kumar, and also former DGs like Dr. Dar, Dr. David Worthington, and Dr. Peter Carberry. And once again, to our sincere thanks to all my students, colleagues, collaborators, including Rachit, Abhishek, Anuja, Anu, Vikas, Pallavi, Jimmy, Salman, Vanika, Prasad, Amir Khan, and many others. I do not remember all their names, but now I'm feeling really little bit emotional. But nevertheless, I'm in Australia, in Perth. Perth is just 2.5 hours ahead than India. I will continue to have the same phone number, so you can always contact me, send me the WhatsApp whenever I can be of any help. Whenever you are organizing any meeting, organizing some project or so, please feel free to contact me. It will be my pleasure to contribute them to there. And also I would like to invite you to visit us in Perth. And as Abhishek mentioned, many of you know that I keep on organizing these conferences. I'm sure that we will keep on organizing some conferences in Perth. So I will be very happy to invite you to host you in Perth. Perth is a beautiful city, and we are having many beaches, so you will enjoy that serenity or beauty of Perth in addition to have the high quality research. So at this stage, I would like to request you to continue to extend your best wishes and blessings to me as you have been doing during last 16 years. And I'm sure that together we will continue to deliver to the agriculture, not only in India, but also around the world. And we will continue to raise the Indian flag high and high. And thank you very much for all your support and best wishes. Once again, thanks to one and all for organizing this session. Thank you very much, Dr. I.P. Singh, Abhishek Bohra, Dr. Shiv Sevak sir, Dr. Frinder Singh, and all of you who spoke, who found the time. I'm thankful to each and every one of you, but we will remain in touch. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. You have always been very generous and supportive, and because of your support, this pigeonpea community has been greatly benefited, and now the products are there for cultivation in farmers' field. And as you said that we strongly believe that this collaboration will continue after you leave ICRISAT or you settle at Australia. So now it is time for the formal vote of thanks. Or now I invite Dr. Divendu Datta to convey formal vote of thanks. Dr. Datta.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Respected Professor Rajiv K. Varsne, Chief Guest of this felicitation function, Dr. Shiv Sevak, Chairman of this function and Director, Indian Institute of Pulses Research, Dr. I.P. Singh, Project Coordinator, AICRP on pigeonpea, and all the esteemed participants. I feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion of commemorating and felicitating the extraordinary research accomplishments and fruitful scientific collaborations of the world-renowned scientist Professor Rajiv Varsne, who has been selected as Director Center for Crop and Food Innovation and Director State Agriculture Biotechnology Center, and also International Chair in Agriculture and Food Security with Food Futures Institute, Murdoch, Australia. On behalf of the Indian Institute of Pulses Research, pigeonpea researchers of NARS and ICRISAT, and on my own behalf, I would like to sincerely thank today's chief guest, Professor Rajiv Varsne, who has spared valuable time from his busy schedule to accept this special felicitation function and grace the occasion with excellent message, generous thoughts, and experience sharing. From the core of my heart, I thank Dr. Shiv Sevak, Chairman of this function and Director, Indian Institute of Pulses Research, who kindly graced this occasion with inspiring remarks. I thank Dr. I.P. Singh, Project Coordinator, AICRP on pigeonpea, for his kind presence and warm remarks. I would like to thank Dr. Farinder Singh, Head Crop Improvement Division, IIPR, for his gracious presence and expressing his views and good wishes. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Abhishek Bohra, Senior Scientist and eminent pigeonpea researcher of IIPR, for arranging this special felicitation function and highlighting the research achievements of the illustrious chief guest, Professor Rajiv Varsne. I would like to thank Dr. R.S. Raje, Principal Scientist, IARI, Dr. Inderjeet Singh, Professor, PAU, Ludhiana, Dr. C.V. Samir Kumar, former Principal Scientist, ICRISAT, Dr. A.N. Tikle, ex-Principal Scientist, JDRS Sihor, Dr. Sudhakar Chaurat, Principal Scientist, ARS Tandur, Dr. S. Munniswamy, Senior Scientist, ARS Gulbarga, Dr. Rachit Saxena, Professor of Biotechnology, and Dr. Satish Nayak, Scientist, IIPR, for attending this function and sharing their thoughts. I sincerely thank all the scientists and other associated participants for attending this function. I extend my thanks to one and all who have helped directly or indirectly to arrange this function. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
सर कब जा रहे हैं सर? डॉक्टर वाशे सर कब जा रहे हैं आप?
सर अब जो हमारा फ्लाइट 30 जनवरी का है जो है
जी। अच्छा।
जी। चलिए सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद एक बार फिर से आपका।
अरे सर बड़ा अच्छा लगा सर आपसे मिलकर के, जो है बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, बहुत बढ़िया लगा, बहुत सुंदर जो है। और सर आप जा रहे हैं, वही हम लोग बड़ा फील हो रहा है। यहाँ थे तो हम लोग कोलैबोरेट करते थे, सब बात होती थी, अब कैसे क्या होगा आगे नहीं आ रहा, क्योंकि आप जाएंगे तो फिर तो वो चीज नहीं रह जाएगी ना।
नहीं, सब अच्छा रहेगा और मिलते रहेंगे, आप लोगों से बात करेंगे सर जरूरत है।
नहीं ठीक है सर।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, सो नाइस ऑफ, थैंक यू सर।
राजीव सर, ऑल द बेस्ट सर।
थैंक यू सुधाकर भाई, थैंक यू।
ओके, नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब, नमस्कार।
थैंक यू सर फॉर योर फ्यूचर एंडेवर सर।
थैंक यू।
नमस्कार सर, सभी को नमस्कार।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच यार। नमस्कार
उदय साहब नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
टिकले साहब नमस्कार।
नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब, आप भूल तो नहीं गए?
आप
सीहोर को भूल तो नहीं गए? आप सीहोर भूल गए क्या?
अरे भूल नहीं गए।
हाँ, बहुत दिन से आए नहीं आप।
नहीं, कोरोना ने सबको भूला। कोरोना मार दिया, कुछ नहीं है।
जी हाँ, कोरोना के कारण
कोरोना से सब गड़बड़ हो रहा है मामला, कहीं आ नहीं पा रहे हैं हम लोग।
जी।
क्लोजिंग है।
ठीक।
ओके वासुदेव साहब नमस्कार।
जब भी मौका मिले आइए जरूर।
श्योर।
थैंक यू, बाय बाय।
डॉक्टर वासुदेव साहब।